Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. Today we have week 5 of the BHDL2 Draft League Tournament. So we're going to go ahead and get this battle on its way here. This is going to be against Icy Dude, an individual who we've played, I believe. This is our 4th time here on Scarlet and Violet. IGN, obviously, Icy Dude. So yeah, we'll take a look and see what he brought to battle here. So he's got the Tinkaton, he's got the Chi-Yu, he's got the Tinglu, he's got the Annihilate, he's got the Donphan, and he's got the Toxapex. So, I guess no huge surprises here. I'm a little surprised to see the Donphan, honestly, but it's not a huge shock. But other than that, no huge surprises, I don't think. So the question is, how do we want to lead this? I think what we really have to do here is we have to lead Palafin, because we really need to get Palafin activated in hero form as quickly as possible. As a general rule of thumb, but specifically in this game, I think it's going to be really crucial to have the best shot of winning this, to get Palafin in hero form as quickly as possible. So we're going to go ahead and lead with that, and yeah, we're just going to go ahead and see how that works out for us. So obviously, very important game for us this week, especially after what happened to us last week. We really need to get back on track here, so we're going to give it our best shot and hope for the best here. So there he is, and he is in fact going to go ahead and lead with the Toxapex as we led with the Palafin. So I think right out of the gate here, we do not want to try and flip turn on this thing, simply for the fact that this thing does have Baneful Bunker, obviously, that it could have. And if we go for that and it gets protected, I believe we do get poisoned. So obviously we do not want that to happen. So we have a number of options for trying to deal with this thing. The question just is, how do we want to play this? I think we go to the Mudsdale, actually. I think that's where we're going to go right off the cuff here. Just because if we can get a Stealth Rock up, I think that'll be beneficial for this game. So we're going to come in with the Mudsdale. He does go for a layer of Toxic Spikes, which is very unfortunate, as we have no way to remove those on our team this week. So yeah, now we have a little bit of a choice to make. We could just go straight for an Earthquake on this thing, as he actually has no switch-ins to Earthquake. I do kind of want to get the Stealth Rock up, though, although aside from the Chi-Yu, the Stealth Rock honestly doesn't do a ton to his team. So it might be more beneficial for us to just go for the Earthquake. He could Baneful to try and scout us. But you know what? I think we actually are just going to go for the Earthquake, because honestly I don't know that Stealth Rock is going to be super useful here. So we'll make the obvious play. He does go for the switch, so we'll see what he switches in here. It is going to be the Donphan, so that thing's coming in. We do go for an Earthquake, so we actually get some decent chip on this thing, take it down by about a third, which is not bad. He could easily try to set hazards with this thing, which is unfortunate. We really, not having any hazard removal this week is probably going to be pretty crippling for us, as it was last week, but really could not fit it in here on this team. How do we want to handle this? I think we could just continue to try and chip this thing down, but I kind of want to... I think I'm just going to go for a Stealth Rock on my own, so we're just going to do that and see what he wants to do. He actually does outspeed us, which is unfortunate. He goes Knockoff, which does give us the stamina increase, but does get rid of our leftovers as well, which kind of sucks. We go for the Stealth Rock to get the entry hazard up on him, which is good. But not having the leftovers kind of sucks, because that's going to limit what we can really do with the Mudsdale in this game. I think this turn we just go Earthquake again to try and chip this thing farther. He's going to go Knockoff again, as it does virtually nothing to us, which is interesting. He might be Choice, actually, which would be interesting. We go Earthquake. knocking this thing within range that one more Earthquake will surely take it out. So I think that's just going to be our play here. We're just going to Earthquake one more time as he rapid spins, which is unfortunate. So that does give him a speed increase. It does trip our stamina again, so we're at +3 physical defense here with the Mudsdale, which is pretty nice. As we go for the Earthquake, taking the Donphan out and knocking him down 5. So that is positive. The only negative about this situation is that he did spin our rocks away, so that kind of sucked, but just kind of is what it is. We can't really do much about that. But at least the Donphan's gone. That is something. And so if we do get hazards back up, then he can't remove them. Although, as I said, I don't know that hazards are super useful this game because he has, I think, all tallied. I think he has 3 Pokemon that resist rock, and he has only 1 that's weak. So now he's going to go ahead and come in with the Chi-Yu, which is obviously a big problem. He does have the Beads of Ruin, which lowers the special defense. Now, these things are normally choice in some capacity. The problem here is we do have something to switch into this thing in the form of the Goodra. I don't know if Goodra can take 2 dark attacks from this thing, though, especially after Poison Chip, which it could be a problem. But Goodra is our best switch to this thing. We are max HP Assault Vest, so I think we just have to do it. We just have to go into Goodra here. So yeah, we want to save Mudsdale because it could be useful for later. So we're going to come in with the Goodra here, and we do get poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, which does suck. We'll see what he wants to go for. It is going to be the Fire Blast, which is perfect, and he actually does miss the Fire Blast, so that's actually really great for us. So we take some damage from the poison, which is unfortunate. So he does have Fire Blast on the Chi-Yu, which is good to note. Now, he more than likely doesn't stay in on this matchup. He probably switches to the Toxapex if I had to guess. So this is going to be, if he is choice, but we don't want to make any risky plays right now. I kind of want to just fire off a Scald. I kind of just want to fire off a Scald here. Even though he does probably switch into the Toxapex. So we could anticipate that and go for a Thunderbolt just to see how much damage we can get on the Toxapex. I feel like this thing's probably choice, because they usually are. But even so, you know what, screw it. We're going to go for the Thunderbolt because I feel like he switches here. He does switch. So hopefully we can catch the Toxapex coming in with a Thunderbolt. That's going to be important. He does come in with the Ting Lu, which is really unfortunate. So that definitely did not work. We go for the Thunderbolt, so Scald would have been the play, obviously. Thunderbolt not going to do anything to the Ting Lu. That sucks as we do take some poison damage. So I feel like in this situation, we need to try and preserve Goodra here as best as we can. So I think our play against the Ting Lu, we have a couple of options here. I kind of want to go into he probably just hazard stacks here, which is going to suck. But I think our best play at this point might actually be to come in with the Grimmsnarl. I think that might actually be our play here. We could come in with the Mudsdale, but I think our better play is to come in with the Grimmsnarl here, just simply for the fact that we can try to get our screens up and hopefully get something going in that department. So we're going to come in with the Grimmsnarl. We do get poisoned, obviously, off the Toxic Spikes, which is unfortunate, as he is, in fact, going to go for a Stealth Rock, so that's also unfortunate. So now he's got that up. Probably is just going to hazard stack at this point, and again, unfortunately, we don't have much that we can do about that right now. So we take poison damage there. I think we definitely, the question is, we definitely get screens up here. I think that's our play. We could Spirit Break this thing, but he could easily switch. This is going to be, I think we probably just make the safe play. Although we could perhaps try to, you know what, actually I think we're going to Spirit Break. Yeah, we're going to Spirit Break just to try and get some damage here as he stays in. We go for the Spirit Break. How much damage is it doing? Just about half, which is great damage. We get a special attack drop, which is meaningless. He goes for the Whirlwind, actually, which does phase us out. But we did get great damage on the Ting-Lu there, which is nice. What are we going to be dragged in with is the question here. It is going to be the Mudsdale. So we come in with the Mudsdale. We do get poisoned and take the Stealth Rock damage, so that sucks. Ting has, we want to note, he also has leftovers, it looks like, as well. So he's got leftovers on the Ting-Lu, and he had Stealth Rock and Whirlwind. So the question now is, how do we want to play this? I do kind of want to get my hazards back up because it's going to be chipping that Chi-Yu. But at the same time, I feel like our best play might actually be to try and get rid of this thing before it can hazard stack any further on us. So what we're actually going to do is, I think we just straight up, I mean, I doubt he would bring the Annihilate in here because it would be a huge risk on his part if he did that. So I think we just go for the close combat here. I think that's our play. We go close combat and see what he does. He actually does withdraw. Hopefully he doesn't come in with the Annihilate because that would be devastating. It is going to be the Annihilate, so that's really unfortunate. He comes in with the Annihilate, so he gets another free switch on us, which obviously sucks, as we are going to take poison damage once again. So he could very well start setting up with the Annihilate right now, so I think we 100% just roar right now. If he could very easily bulk up here, so I think we just roar. That's our play, as he just actually goes for the close combat and takes us out. So so the Annihilate is going to close combat us, and that is in fact going to take the Mudsdale out and knock us down to 5. So that's not great. We're not going to be able to get hazards up on this one. So we don't see any other kind of item on the Annihilate. He could actually be Choice, which would be interesting. We're going to have a choice to make right now. And I think, how do we want to handle this Annihilate? I think we come in with the Kilowatt Roll, so that's for starters. So we come in with the Kilowatt Roll. We are going to take the Stealth Rock damage. Now, I think our best play here, because he has some options here, he could easily switch into the Ting-Lu, predicting the electric attack here, or he could switch into the Toxapex just to wall us. But obviously that would be a huge risk if he switched on his side, if he switched into the Toxapex. I think we do Terra here. I think we have to pop the Terra right now. And the question is, what move do we go for? We could go for a Terra Blast. I think we try to catch the Ting-Lu coming in with the Terra Blast Water. We could also make the safe play and go Air Slash. We could make that the safe play and go Air Slash. But I think we try to catch the Ting-Lu coming in. We're going to Terra Blast Water here. So he does switch. Can we get a prediction right this time? He does come in with the Tinkaton, which is interesting. So he's got the Mold Breaker coming into play here. We are going to bust out our Terra here, so the cat's out of the bag with that. We're going to Terrastalize into a Water type, which will lose our prior weaknesses, which means when we switch in, we'll take less damage from Stealth Rock if it comes to that point. We are going to go for a Terra Blast Water here. We're max special attack choice specs. How much damage is it going to do to this thing is the question. And it doesn't even do half, actually, which is quite interesting as he gets some HP back with the leftovers. So that's kind of disappointing, actually. I'm actually quite surprised that we didn't do more damage there. This thing must be actually pretty specially defensive to take that as well as it did. So we could go for another Terra Blast Water to try and chip this thing down. But I don't really want to take a ton of damage on Kilowatt Roll right now. We do have a pretty easy switch to this thing in the form of the Ogerpon. So I kind of want to switch the Ogerpon in here. So what do we do? You know what? What does he do here? That's the question. We know we outspeed. We can probably take an attack from this thing, but even so, I think we go into the Ogre Pond here. We really don't want to take an attack. We really don't want to take an attack on the Kilowattrel right now from this thing, so I think we have to switch into the Ogre Pond here. So that's what we're going to do. We do take the Stealth Rock damage and get poisoned, which is really unfortunate. We do resist both this thing's stabs, which is something. We do take all that damage, though, as we have the Mold Breaker coming into play, of course, which is nice. He is going to bust out his Terra here, so that was the other X factor that I was concerned about that would change the math. What is he going to Terra into here? It's going to be Terra Dragon. Terra Dragon, so that's very interesting, actually. So he's got Terra Dragon, Tinkaton. He goes for a knockoff, which is going to do not much damage to us, which is nice, as he gets some HP back with the leftovers, and then we are unfortunately going to take some poison damage. So unfortunately, we don't really have a great move to hit this thing with, as it is Terra Dragon. The best thing we can do is Brick Break. I mean, we could Ivy Cudgel, which might actually do more damage, and also the increased critical hit chance. I think actually Ivy Cudgel and Brick Break do the same amount of damage, and we have the increased critical hit chance. We could also Horn Leech to try and stall this, get some HP back. But this is not a great situation for us to be in. I think we just have to try and chip this thing as much as we can. So I feel like we go Ivy Cudgel here. I think that's the play, as he does switch. What does he switch in with, though, is the question. He switches in with Chi-Yu, so that's a very, very, very ballsy switch there. It does resist both our stabs. We do go for the Ivy Cudgel here. It does do half to this thing, which is incredible. And then we take damage from the poison. So we're in an unfortunate situation here. We can't really afford to switch this thing out again because of the Stealth Rock damage. We probably have to lose Ogre Pond here, which sucks. But I don't really see a way around it. I feel like we just Brick Break here, but we know we're not going to take an attack from this thing, but we just Brick Break. I think that's our only play, as he does outspeed, takes us out with a Dark Pulse, so there's really nothing we can do about that. So something was going to go down to Chi-Yu there, so we lose Ogre Pond and we go down to 5, so I'm sorry, we go down to 4. So we know he should be locked into Dark Pulse now, so the only silver lining to this situation is that I think we should know at this point that he should be locked into Dark Pulse. So knowing with that information, because this thing is more than likely going to be choice, so with that information we can come in with the Grimmsnarl. And so now that the Grimmsnarl's in, we can start to hopefully set some screens up here. What does he switch into the Grimmsnarl is the question. He probably does. This is going to be the moment of truth if this thing is choice or not, because if this thing is choice, he definitely switches. There's no bones about that. So I think we just go for the light screen here to get that up. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to light screen here. So he does switch, so he's more than definitely going to be choice on this thing. He does switch in with the Toxapex kind of as expected. So that thing's coming in. We do go light screen here, so we do get that special defense increase for our Pokemon for a bunch of turns, which is good. We do take more damage from the poison, which is bad. I think in this situation, we probably just get our other screen up. I think that's our play. So we're just going to reflect here to get the other screen up. So we get that, so that's something. We'll see what he wants to do with the Toxapex, as he just goes for the second layer of Toxic Spikes. So that's not that big of a deal, because we have no way to remove those. He already had one layer up anyway, so we are going to take some damage from the Toxic, obviously. Now, the question here is, what do we switch into this thing? What do we switch into this thing? Do we go Goodra? We kind of need Goodra for the Chi-Yu, but at the same time, the Chi-Yu will definitely go down to a Jet Punch from the Palafin, so we don't really have to worry too much about that in that regard. I think we go Goodra. I think that's our play, is we go Goodra, because I don't really think Toxapex can do much to Goodra. So we're going to just come in with Goodra here. We do take another round of Stealth Rock damage. as he is actually going to double switch himself. So what is he going to come in with here? This is going to be important. It's going to be the Annihilate. So that's bad. That's bad news. We are going to take damage from the poison. So obviously this is really bad for us. I feel like we do have the screens up, which is good. I feel like this Annihilate might be choice by the way he's playing it. We don't really want to take a big shot with Goodra, but at the same time, I don't think we have a choice right now because it is continually getting whittled from the Stealth Rock every time it switches in, so it's kind of not able to tank a hit from Chi-Yu at this point anyway, I don't think. So I feel like the best thing we can do is stay in and try to take the Annihilate out, so I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to hit it hard with the Draco Meteor here. I think that's the best thing we can do right now. As he goes for a Rage Fist, and how much damage is that doing? That does a good amount as we go for a Draco Meteor in return. How much is that going to do? Only about half, so that is a very abysmal amount of damage actually to this thing as we take some more poison damage. So that really did not do nearly enough damage to that Annihilate. That was, yeah, I was expecting way more damage on that. So that's bad, very bad. We did get Chip on the Annihilate, which is going to be useful hopefully for later. But I think now we're kind of in a position with Goodra that we have to just let it go down here. I don't think there's much else we can do. I think we just have to let Goodra go down here. So yeah, I think we just stay in here. We probably can't tank another attack, but we just go Draco again as he goes for the Rage Fist again. It is boosted, obviously. And we actually do take it with 3 HP. Goodra hangs on. We get another Draco Meteor knocking this thing into the red, which is great damage. Unfortunately, Goodra is going to go down to the poison this turn, and that is going to knock us down to 3. So, not great, but at the same time, we are chipping him down. Now, again, based on the way he's playing this Annihilate, I kind of feel like it's choice. But I feel like, how do we want to play this? We could come in, we have two choices basically. We can either come in with the Palafin, or we can come in with the Kilowattrel, or we could come in with the Grimmsnarl. I think it's Palafin's time, honestly. I think it might be Palafin's time to come in here. Yep, I think it's Palafin's time. So we're going to come in with Palafin, and I think the position we're in right now is we really have to depend on Palafin to pull through for us in this one. So we come in with Palafin, we take the rocks and the poison. We get the 0 to hero, obviously. And so I think we're in a situation where he probably switches into the Toxapex here. I think that's his... I mean, he either stays in and lets the Annihilate go down, or he switches into the Toxapex, one of the two. Now, we do have screens up still, and we're going to have... we have 4 more turns of Reflect, 3 more turns of Light Screen. So I think what we do... I know this screwed us before. I think we... Oh, man. I think we Zen Headbutt, predicting the Toxapex to come in. I think that's actually our play here. It could screw us. It really could screw us, but I think that's our play. I think that's our play. We do it. He does switch. So can we catch the Toxapex here with the Zen Headbutt? He does come in with the Toxapex. Can we hit the Zen Headbutt? Toxapex is in. We go for the Zen Headbutt. We do connect. We're max attack, choice band. It's not quite enough to take the Toxapex down. We even get a critical hit too, which is insane. We take Rocky Helmet damage too, which is not great. But that was an insane amount of damage that we got on the Toxapex there. We could... how do we do this? He could recover, but I think we switch here. I think we switch to Kilowattrel, because we need to try and preserve the Palafin, because I think our hope of this game really rides on the Palafin, but we really needed Palafin to get that big shot off on the Toxapex, which we just got. So, so I think we do switch. we do switch into either Kilowattrel or, yeah, I think we go Kilowattrel. Yeah, we go Kilowattrel here. I think we definitely go Kilowattrel. So hopefully he doesn't have any form of recovery here. That's what we really kind of have to hope for at this point. So we do come in with the Kilowattrel here. We do take the Stealth Rock damage, and we get poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, obviously, which is terrible. We're really getting whittled, but so is he. What is he going to do here? He does double switch, actually. So he could actually be double switching to the Ting Lu right now. No, he double switches to the Chi Yu. He double switches to the Chi Yu, predicting us to go for the Zen Headbutt again. So we did make the right call. So we're in a very interesting situation now, because I think this thing outspeeds us, which is really bad. We have to make a decision now. We have to decide what's more important between Kilowattrel and Grimmsnarl, I think. That's the position we're in, I think. And I think Kilowattrel is more important. So I think we switch to the Grimmsnarl right now. I think that's our play, is we switch to the Grimmsnarl here. He actually double switches the Chi Yu as well, which is really interesting. So he might be trying to burn screen turns here. So he double switches again, which is really interesting. He comes in with the Tinkaton. So he was predicting the Terra Blast Water there, obviously, I think. He switched first, so we know he's faster, which is bad. But we come in with the Grimmsnarl, and obviously we take more damage, which is bad. He gets HP with the leftovers. Now, I think what we have to do here, as we take more poison damage, I think what we have to do here, the light screen's over, which is bad. The light screen was increasing our special defense, so we can't rely on that anymore. I think what we have to do here is we have to Sucker Punch for damage on this thing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to Sucker Punch for damage. Hopefully he goes for attack. He stays in. We go the Sucker Punch. We get great damage with the Sucker Punch, knocking this thing down to about a quarter HP. He does go for the Gigaton Hammer in return. Gets a critical hit, which did not matter. Knocks us out and takes us down to 2. So we are down in a bad way right now, as he gets some HP back with the leftovers. But we have one hope, really, as the Reflect wears out. Actually, 2 hopes. We have the Kilowattrel and we have the Palafin. So we are going to switch in with the Kilowattrel at this point. That's what we're going to do. Now, we know we should outspeed this thing as we take another round of Stealth Rock damage. His entire team is incredibly whittled at this point. So I think we can pretty safely go for a Terra Blast Water at this point. It should be enough to take this thing out. So we do Terra Blast Water here. That's the play, I think. As he stays in, we go for the Terra Blast Water. It's max special attack choice specs. Is it enough? No. He lives on like 1 HP, which is insane. He knocks off our choice specs, which is really unfortunate. He gets some HP back with the leftovers. We do survive the poison damage for 1 more turn, which is incredible. And we have no choice but to just go for another Terra Blast here. Actually, we did have a choice because we are not specs anymore, but it doesn't really matter. Anything we go for at this point is going to take this thing out. So we are down to the wire here. Tinkaton goes down, knocking him down to 4. Tinkaton goes down, knocking him down to 4. Kilowattrel is going to go down to the poison, knocking us down to 1. So we are on a razor's edge here at this point. There's no 2 ways about it. Kilowattrel goes down. We go down to just 1 Pokemon. So it's all on Palafin at this point. It is all on Palafin at this point. So we come in with the Palafin. We take the... he is going to come in with the Toxapex, which unfortunately has Regenerator up. Yeah, the Regenerator is bad news. We have no choice but to lock into Jet Punch here. We could be in serious trouble, but we're going to go Jet Punch. We have no choice because we're choice banned. He's actually going to double switch us here, making the smart play, which is going to even further increase the viability of his Toxapex. He comes in with the Ting Lu, gets the Vessel of Ruin to come into play. We go for the choice band Jet Punch. It is more than enough to take the Ting Lu out, knocking him down to 3. and we are also going to take some poison damage. So I think we might be in serious trouble here, just purely for the fact that I think Toxapex is going to win this for him, because I think he's going to be able to Toxic Stall us, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, I don't see. Obviously, we just have to keep clicking Jet Punch here. That's all we can do. We go Jet Punch. It's not nearly enough damage. And we take the Rocky Helmet damage too, so, and he's going to recover stall us. That's nice. So, awesome. Yeah, so we're pretty much done at this point. Unfortunately, yeah, there's no way we can win this at this point, because obviously we're just choice locked into Jet Punch, so all we can do is just keep going for the Jet Punch and keep killing ourselves on the Rocky Helmet and the poison damage. He does go for Chilling Water, which does take us out. And that is going to be game. So we are unfortunately going to lose that one 3-0 to Icy Dude. It was a very hard-fought game. The hazards were just too much, unfortunately, for us once again. Also, I think just the fact that the Toxapex lived on like 1 HP back when we got that big attack off on it, really ended up costing us, because actually had the Toxapex not lived that attack, we could have probably cleaned up the game with Palafin, but yeah, that's really unfortunate that it came to that, but come to that it did. So yeah, very disappointing week, obviously. The Pidgeys will fall to a 2-3 record now here in the BHDL2, so back-to-back disappointments. Yeah, I don't know what to say at this point. We got to try and get something going if we want to save the season here. But yeah, it's not looking great for us right now. But I will reserve my full thoughts on that for the weekly recap and preview video, of course. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and/or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.